What's good, y'all? I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be watching the end of Adam22 and No Jumper. And I don't know if you guys know who Adam22 is, but he used to be, one of the people that used to blow up underground artists, and he just had a lot to do with the culture, and then all of a sudden, he decided to start being a cuck, right? I don't know if you guys know what a cuck is, but a cuck is someone that watches they girl get banged out by somebody that's not them. So he decided to become a cuck and pimp out his girl on OF. I feel like his spiral has been terrible. Adam could have been someone that's so huge in the culture. Like, imagine academics, right? He could have been just like academics, because academics never did anything that, well, as far as I know, academics never did anything that kind of put him in this same sphere as Adam22. And we're about to see what happened to him. And I did want to mention to y'all, I am going to start streaming frequently. It's going to be on TikTok and on Twitch. And I'm going to be streaming from 8 to 10 Central Time every day. So make sure y'all lock in. And now let's get into the video.
His topics on my channel used to be the downfall of Adam22 and the dismantling of his brand No Jumper. Basically, No Jumper completely imploded back in 2023, not only losing some of their most popular talents, but also creating this never-ending beef between Adam and the at the time recently departed.
Paid for the fucking funeral as soon as it happened, just because.
Bro, why is Adam always in some beef though? Nobody rocks with Adam. I mean, maybe he's just an unlikable person. I don't know.
Now after this, Adam would look at his brand in a completely different light.
I didn't set down any boundaries in the beginning. It was just like, here's a table, here's these cameras, here's these 4 million subscribers, do whatever the f you guys want.
And while people enjoyed the content farm that No Jumper had become, he had held the claim that he was actually losing money on these new shows that he had created, and obviously the talent that he had hired. After this, Adam seemed extra anxious to cash out and completely changed the way that he was operating, hiring some new talent while retaining some other guys, and really just trying to keep No Jumper's head above water. And I feel like the real desperation would not start until his wife Lena announced that she would be appearing in an adult video with corn star Jason Love.
Bro, craziest meme ever, bro. Let me get back to that. Hold up.
Video with corn star Jason.
Craziest meme ever, bro. Like, there's no way you let your wife do that, bro. Your wife, and or a child. I don't know how many kids they have. But this is your legacy. Your child is like, they gonna grow up with some trauma, bro. Some trauma. Bro, dang, y'all can't even see him. Let me show y'all this. Look. Bro, you can't let that happen, bro. Look at this dude. You see that, man? And he about to bang out your wife, bro. And you about to let it happen, bro, for money. For money. I digress. Let's finish
In love. Keep in mind, this came right on the heels of her and Adam getting married. And of course, we all know how that thing ended. And with Adam completely leaning into this arc of his career, even calling himself the king of all cucks, aka the guys with the special little chairs in the corner of the room, I actually predicted that this situation would cause permanent damage to his online reputation.
Do you think that you f***ed her better than Adam did?
Well, obviously, yes.
Which, looking
Bro, there's a man online talking about he banged out your wife better than you. What? Bro, I'm sure you didn't need the money that bad, bro. Like, the only answer to this is you needed to make 25 M's by tomorrow and you couldn't. Or the mafia was about to come chop your head off. That's the only reason you should let this happen to your wife. And the worst part, this is the worst part. People just gonna watch it for free on the internet. I'm sure you made some bread, but it's just gonna end up on the internet for free. And it's like, Bro, like, what we got going on?
Back is exactly what happened. It's like Adam entered a never-ending inferno of getting roasted online. So of course he would double down on the humiliation and the attention by hosting a web show giving away his wife to the man.
This is crazy. This is, like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want nothing to do with Adam. I don't think I would ever want anything to do with Adam. Like, this dude right here, he's dead. This dude right here, he's in jail. And these other dudes, I don't know these other dudes. I feel like this is terrible.
And of his choice.
We're gonna get you out of the situation.
Right, but the whole idea is that we're gonna do it together.
Just went there and just pulled my pants down and showed my French baguette to Lena and Adam.
But I had to bring.
And now he's staring at dude's meats. Okay.
I don't think he wanted.
Now this pretty much ended the same way, only this time Adam would actually cross swords with dude. Now since then Adam had not really been worth talking about. Honestly, his antics just got stale after he showed up on stream wearing a G-string.
I'm gonna put on this thong and I'm gonna go into the news and I'm gonna say hi to everybody.
And then he was quote-unquote acting like he was shooting a gay scene with none other than Jack Doherty's brother. Something he would later reveal was apparently an April Fool's prank.
To troll the world into believing that I am a homosexual.
But honestly at that point out,
Bro got too much white hairs on his face to be doing this. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. He has too many white hairs on his face to be doing this. Like, I get it. I feel like the world has changed so much to where, like, people are younger at older ages, right? So it takes longer for you to start, like, getting old. You feel me? I feel like the term old head is starting to kind of, like, fall off because the next generation of old heads, they not becoming old heads as quick as the old heads did back in the previous generations. But Adam, you have too many white hairs on your face to be doing this, bro. Too many, bro. Do different things, bro. I'm sure you have plenty of money and you can make money. And I feel like at this point, this isn't you trying to make money. This is because this is who you are. This is what you want to be. This is what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, I understand a motherfucker trying to make some bread. But come on.
I don't think anyone really cared enough to be tricked. And now apparently Adam has been struggling financially, or at least No Jumper. Recently they were actually sued by 2 former employees at his company who alleged some sort of discriminatory termination. And then Adam even promoted an alleged crypto rug pull called Coin. And keep in mind, this is something that he was dead against in the past, yet he was completely unapologetic when CoffeeZilla questioned what the hell he was doing.
I reached out. I said, hey, you shouldn't run a coin. It's lame, and you're gonna scam or get scammed. Then Adam22 says, how else am I gonna afford all this Galaxy gas?
And that really made me wonder, like, why would Adam feel the need to scam his own fans for at most a couple $100,000? And now we might finally have the answer to that, as around a month later, several of his podcast hosts and friends have been detained in a large-scale gang sweep, and even Adam himself had some sort of contact with the feds as well.
I made it 41 years into this life before I had involvement, conversation with federal agents.
And now Adam made this video claiming that No Jumper has gone completely broke, but some actually believe this is to avoid paying possible legal fees, or at the very least that he is lying with an agenda. Alright guys, so here we are in the actual video where Adam claims that No Jumper is going broke. Apparently they're having some sort of logistical issue.
Am I watching a reaction of a reaction? Y'all heard that? That lightning? Am I reacting to a reaction? Bro, hold up. Let me show you, bro. Bro, I'm reacting to a reaction of... What's good, gang? Let's get back to the video, man.
And some other unexpected expenses have come up that are basically killing his business.
So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke. I know that might sound crazy. Between both of our YouTube channels last month, we got over 25 million views. We're doing well on Facebook and Snapchat. We employ quite a few of the hottest content creators on the West Coast, and we pump out an insane amount of content on a weekly basis.
Yeah, 25 million views is really nothing to scoff at, especially when most of them are like really long form views. I mean, I gotta estimate that off AdSense alone, they're clearing at least 6 figures, but you guys have to remember that No Jumper has like a massive operation. I think they had purchased like a $5 million building back in 2022 or 2023. And at the time, I praised them for doing this. I always think it's cool when people can make like a media conglomerate like that. I thought he was going to be like his own little version of Barstool, but I think Adam witnessed firsthand how quickly you can just start burning through money simply because you own this insane building. And when you're just doing a podcast, like, do you really need all of that? Like, I get that.
Bro, a tiny room with a table and 4 people sitting at it. You don't need no $5 million building, bro. You could have bought a house. You could have bought a $1 million house and had just 7 rooms. Okay, 7 rooms is excessive for $1 million. That's not really stretching that far. But you can get like a 4 or 5 bedroom house, you know, have somebody recording in the rooms, somebody recording in the living room. You feel me? Like, you could have finagled something like $5 million building. I don't know if that was the best way to do it.
It looks cool. I get that you want it to be like maybe the next Barstool, but that business model, especially in this economy, is just really rough.
How could we be going broke? Well, let's start here. We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took a hit. We hired a whole bunch of editors and other employees, and we bought a huge office building that cost us almost $4 million, thinking that the growth that we were experiencing during the pandemic was going to continue.
And this is a problem that a lot of businesses made during the pandemic. They thought that because people were at home and people were feeling good spending their stimmy money, you know, back before inflation, that, oh, these sales are going to last forever. And now that the economy has essentially flipped on its head, well, a lot of these businesses just cease to exist.
Our YouTube numbers, which had doubled or even tripled, gradually returned to normal. Our Snapchat and Facebook numbers, which had exploded during COVID, sometimes even hitting 6 figures a month, shrank by about 80% or more. Our Patreon, which was...
Yeah, I mean, at that time, I was getting contacted by a couple of reps from Snapchat that wanted to take what I was doing on YouTube and basically make a series, you know, for the Snapchat stories or whatever. And they were telling me, like, oh, we can offer you double your YouTube revenue. Apparently, the numbers were insane. Almost like when Twitter first announced their Twitter Blue program, they were paying out a lot of money. But over time, the model is just not sustainable once you keep letting more and more people in.
Was absolutely killing it for a year or two when we were doing uncensored, aka nude interviews with up-and-coming superstars like Kazumi and Sky Bree. Fell off quite a bit with the launch of Plug Talk and a decreased interest in seeing us interview stars.
I mean, let's be honest for a second, guys. No one is watching Korn so that they can know about the girl's personality. No one's saying, oh, I wonder where she wants to get taken for a date. I wonder how she got into this industry. Was there trauma involved?
That messes up everything. I don't need to know about your past traumas. That's gonna make me start feeling bad.
Of course. And the other thing to me is there really that many people out there that want to see Adam getting busy on camera? Like, I get that his girl is like the focal point of the corn business that they do, but at some point aren't these people gonna be like, yo, we're sick of Adam, we don't want to see him on that orange couch no more? As a matter of fact, if you've ever paid for one of his films, I'm looking at you completely sideways.
You might recall that the channel took quite a hit when approximately 8 of our hosts left the platform in March of 2023. Although we've definitely largely recovered and managed to build up a very healthy roster of talent since then, that certainly took a toll on our business for a while as well.
Yeah, I mean, they did recover pretty nicely from all that backlash.
But we were still solidly profitable. That is, until the last few months, where we experienced 2 major L's that we never could have seen coming. First, we lost the No Jumper Instagram. After almost 10 years of building it up and essentially no strikes on our account, we got taken down one day and we still have absolutely no idea why. We were bringing in a very solid amount of cash monthly that was keeping us afloat via selling sponsored posts on the account.
You know, I do always wonder if those type of Instagram promotions actually lead to real growth for an artist. I honestly feel like you'd be better off trying to do something a little bit unique and trying to get your music trending that way through some sort of like sick little reel, sick little short video.
In addition to that, we have been hit with a bullshit lawsuit from a former employee. Now, essentially everything in this lawsuit is completely fictional, and every lawyer that I've spoken to about it has described this as basically an extortion attempt, but it still cost us a ton of money already, and it's expected to cost us many hundreds of thousands of dollars to see this through to completion.
God damn. I mean, yeah, I've heard that those legal fees will drain you quick. I mean, I would think if they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on this, it must be somewhat serious. And yeah, this is apparently the court case right here. And so yeah, apparently this Riley Garcia and this Yuri guy, who I think I remember, are suing No Jumper, Adam, somebody named Josh, and somebody named Nicholas. So yeah, they're basically saying that No Jumper and Adam right here are responsible for some sort of acts of discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. I mean, honestly, for all the shoddy things that were going on,
I wouldn't be surprised if some crazy stuff was really happening in there. I feel like this was done in a way where it was like, oh, I know that their pockets are low, so they might just settle with us rather than going through court because they don't have the money. Because maybe it's a good play. It might be a good play.
No Jumper, like even before all these individuals were employed. I feel like this shit could turn to a damn class action lawsuit. Like on some Surviving No Jumper shit, allegedly. Either way, I think this is the guy Yuri. They probably don't want to show his face for legal reasons, but
It's insane to me that a person that we did so much for can just invent some grievances out of thin air and cost us this much money as a result. But somehow, that's our reality, and we have to fight this rather than just give in to this piece of shit.
I mean, yeah, because if you give in to one person, it kind of sets the precedent like, oh, everyone come sue me now. I'm just going to be handing out settlements.
So as a result of all these circumstances, we are making some changes. Over the last few months, we laid off multiple employees in an attempt to reduce our expenses as much as possible.
That's tough.
We closed down our store on Melrose,
That's
and
tough.
we're in the early stages of selling our current warehouse and moving into a smaller space. To be
Damn.
honest, aside from the layoffs, which sucked, I'm pretty happy about a lot of these changes. I've realized that I should have paid more attention to DJ Vlad and kept my overhead as low as possible, particularly in terms of staff and location.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that massive building that I guess he bought turned into an insane fucking headache.
Keeping your expenses down is really like one of the most important things in life in general. Like if Adam22 is making $2 million, let's say a month, and his expenses are 1.8, bro, like you're doing everything wrong. You have a YouTube channel, bro. Just make YouTube videos. Everything else, cut it. Especially the stuff where your wife's getting banged out on cam. Just make your YouTube videos. Get back to what it used to be before you try to branch out. And closing your store on Melrose is crazy. Because I feel like that's where it all started. That's where everything came
And
from.
I would say the only saving grace here is that really only No Jumper could go bankrupt. Like, it's hard for me to see them coming after his personal assets if he has everything set up correctly.
Confident that once we get the building sold, we'll be in a pretty solid financial position again as a business. I've got another business in the form of Plug Talk, and I've got a pretty decent investment portfolio on a personal level. It was a big decision to share this stuff with you guys, but at a certain point I realized that I've been honest with the world about just about everything in my life over the years, and it felt wrong to keep all this stuff that we've been dealing with in secret.
Adam, come on, bro. Be honest about the rug pull, then.
I know what you're thinking. What can you do to help? Well,
wasn't thinking
I do have
that.
some ideas.
Nobody's trying to help. Nobody's trying to help. There's in no way, shape, or form am I ever thinking in my head, dang, how can I help this millionaire? No. Maybe if they're like going through like something mental, you feel me? It might be like, you see Kodak kind of tweaking out. You'd be like, dang, wish I could do something to help. Like Kodak, this man looked like he going through it. Like something bad is happening to him. But help you with funds? No, bro.
Sort into 3 categories here: free, cheap, and generous.
Oh, here we
Free.
go. Adam's about to ask the audience for some money to pay those legal fees.
We are really trying to get serious about embracing our members here on YouTube.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about memberships on YouTube? Have you joined anyone's channel? I'm always getting emails encouraging me to do that type of thing, but I don't know, it's just hard for me to see someone in my audience spending like the same price as Netflix or something like that, just so they can watch an extra piece or like an uncensored version of my content.
$5 a month. We've got a ton of awesome benefits, including being able to watch all of our interviews free of censorship and bleeped words before they're released to the public. Members only chat for all of our live stream content.
I mean, yeah, I guess if you're like a huge time fan and you really want to be in like the members only chat, that's the only reason I can see doing something like this. And I'll also say, like, if you're getting endless entertainment value from somebody and it's pretty much all free, yes, I can see you throwing them like $5 a month.
And for those of you who have more money to spend, we're introducing a mega premium $100 tier to our memberships that will get your name added to the
$100 a month? $1,200 a year? That's like 1 month of rent for a lot of people. But hey, you get those producer credits.
And it will also get you consistent advice and opinions on your music
my
submissions
God.
with 1 free submission per month and discounted additional songs.
Honestly, if you are a young up-and-coming artist and you have $100 to spend on your career, this is not where I would put it. I remember back in the day, No Jumper would always do these like listening to your music live streams where maybe like 10, 15,000 people were tuned in and they were just playing different people's music who would send them $100.
I like it. I want to.
It's not bad.
I want to hang out with him and be depressed.
And I really want to know if one single person or one single song actually blew up from doing that. Because when you're a broke artist, $100 isn't just like chump change. I just think you're still much better off trying to do like a Facebook or Instagram, maybe even a TikTok campaign. And you can at least be a lot more precise with what type of demographic you're going for.
There's my update. I've been kind of thinking about telling you guys about all this stuff for a while. I'm not begging for sympathy or anything like that. I'm just being realistic about owning a media business.
And honestly, guys, for once, I don't really see this as something to really clown at him about. This is something that a lot of businesses all over the country are experiencing right now. And I do think it's really easy to expand when you feel like you have a really good thing going. You feel like the community loves it. But then as I started renting out spaces and talking to the people that, you know, own these type of media places, I realized that it was essentially a money pit. Like, I remember I paid like $400 to shoot at this place for 2 hours, a podcast with my buddy Danny. And I remember in the main office, this guy had a little TV that had his like whole booking schedule up. And that shit was free as a fucking bird. No one was booking that spot, and it was actually pretty nice. And yeah, I just think in this type of economy, it's really hard to run this type of business model. Honestly, it's been a really long time since I've watched any No Jumper content. But hey, someone's still watching, apparently 25 million views a month, so I think that they're gonna be alright. Y'all let me know down below if you think this is really about something else, if you think that Adam is trying to hide this money away. But as always, I want to thank you guys for watching.
That was a good video. Adam, bro. He did too much in every corner, every aspect, bro. You went to having your wife banged out on cam. You bought a $5 million building like you're Microsoft. You're not Google, friend. In no way, shape, or form should you have a $5 million building. You need one room to talk to P stars and get your wife banged out in. And then you need another room so you could do interviews. And then you hire a couple people to go out and interview people or do whatever that is. But that could still happen in those same rooms. You need 2 rooms, my friend. 2 rooms. You went and bought a building. Fly too close to the sun. You're going to find out what happens. Stop getting your wife banged out on cam. And, you know, raise your daughter correctly or your son or whatever you're doing. Like, I feel like as soon as I have a kid, like, my life revolves around my kid. And even if I'm still doing stuff, it's like, when my kid finds out that I did this, how is that going to make them feel and how is that going to affect them? Like, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, Adam has a kid and then, you know, when the kid turns 18, straight to the OF. And it's because that's what y'all was doing. Y'all taught her that was right or that was okay. You know what I mean? She's in the same house and you over here inviting 7-foot dark skinned men into your house with dreads to bang out your wife. Like, lock in. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I also want to mention to you guys that I am going to start streaming more often. I'm going to start streaming between, and this is Central Time. Holy, I didn't mention that anywhere else. But I'm going to start streaming 7:30 to 10 p.m. or maybe 7:30 to 10 p.m. from TikTok and Twitch. All right. So all my stuff has the same name. It's I Love You Feek, ILY Feek. So go ahead, go follow that. I'm going to start doing that every day, honestly. And then, you know, hopefully that does well. But I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace.
Watching today's video.
But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys for watching the videos. But make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Keep watching the videos and give me... Oh, crap. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that other shit. And peace. And I did want to mention to you...
dropping. So one of the hot